The Cellcast is recorded in front of a live streaming audience.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Cellcast
Reactions.
Joining me today is a man who just found a door in the middle of a pond. Welcome, Jacob.
Yeah, that was a weird experience. Let's say that.
Dela, do you have something you want to tell us? What do you mean you know nothing about the doors?
Yeah,
You don't know anything about the doors? Like where they lead to?
it's not hopping to another digital world and getting stomped around by a pteranodon.
You're not being very helpful today, Dela. Well, anyway,
Oh my gosh! But yeah, today we were reviewing. How do you pronounce it?
Suzume?
Suzume.
By the way,
Suzume or Suzume?
Aren't you forgetting something?
Oh yeah. Why? Thank you. Why? Thank you. Let me back up. Whatever. What?
Rewind.
Yeah, exactly. Rewind. Why? Thank you. Let me introduce our co-host, a man who stumbled about a cat that's talking back to him, and we're kind of concerned at this moment. Welcome, Drew.
There's also something about a three-legged chair.
I have no idea.
No, that's the thing. We're going to be reacting to a movie that we know nothing about.
Yeah.
Other than it is being made by Makoto Shinkai, who I think at this point, for both of Jacob and I, we don't need to know anything else other than he's connected to it.
Yeah. It's just to see the artistic masterpiece that is going to come out of it.
No, it's going to be pretty.
Yeah.
It's going to be a beautifully animated film. We know it's going to be a decent story. In fact, it's probably going to be like every other story we've watched so far.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to care about that because we both like Makoto Shinkai.
Right.
So yeah, I know there's a door, there's a cat, there's a three-legged stool.
There's a romance involved in some capacity.
Except they almost never show the guy in the trailers.
Yeah.
Which is weird. He's there, but they never show him.
Yeah.
So I don't get that.
And riding bicycles.
Well, that's not the end of the world.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, that is what we are doing our reaction today on Suzume or Suzume.
Yeah. However pronounced, we'll figure it out when we get back.
I'm sure we'll hear the name 1,000 times.
Probably. Yeah, because this is right now on IMDb, it has a 7.8 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes is a 95%. And Metacritic is 78%.
Yeah, so I mean,
this is doing very well.
Very well. It's actually doing far more favorably critically than the Super Mario Brothers movie was.
Yeah.
Doing. So I mean, yeah, this is probably going to be a good time all around. So
yeah, because right now it's box office. I'm not sure if it's just counting here in America or over abroad.
It's like Japan.
Japan right now, it's like $256.1 million. That's probably converted to yen, but
Yeah.
it's like, jeez, this movie's banking right now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm super excited to see them.
Yeah.
With again, we haven't deep dived what's going in the plot or anything. It's just watching the trailers. The trailers literally give you nothing of what's going on in the story.
Well, I mean, they're traditional Japanese style trailers, which means they're going to show you a lot. Probably we've even seen the climax already, knowing how Japan does their trailers.
Right.
But we know nothing about what's actually happening. So for those of you who don't know who we're talking about when we're saying I've already messed the man's name up. Makoto Shinkai. Who we're talking about. This is the guy who directed Weathering with You and Your Name.
Yes. Two films we've already reviewed.
And one we're going to get to re-review soon.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Weathering with You.
Right. Oh, no, Your Name.
Oh yeah, that's right. We already did. Yes. That's right. Never mind.
Yeah. We reacted to Weathering with You after all that.
Yes.
So anyway,
that's true.
So yeah, we've seen the world get destroyed by a meteor, or a town get destroyed by a meteor.
Yes.
We've seen Tokyo get flooded.
Yes.
And now apparently, from just the way things look, we're actually going to see the complete end of the world.
Possibly.
It's what it kind of looks like.
It looks like.
And there's an evil cat involved.
Oh gosh.
Maybe not an evil cat, but it is a what do you call those with the different colored fur? not tortoiseshell.
It's not a tortoise. Be like that's the only thing.
They're mostly female cats.
That's a good question.
Of the way it goes. I can't remember what those are called, but now I'm gonna have to look it up.
Do that quick research.
Multicolored cat. I gotta get me close.
Something like that. Calicos.
Yeah. It looks like it's a calico cat, and they are traditionally female.
Yes.
Because the gene that allows for the calico is on the X gene.
Okay.
There are very rare male calico. So the question is this a female calico or a male calico?
That would be interesting.
Because if it's a male calico, I could see how that would be symbolic of things not going right.
Yeah.
Just putting that out there.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm looking forward to this movie, like every other Makoto Shinkai. I almost got it right. Be like every one of the films we've done, like you said, Weathering with You and Your Name are both incredible films, and I'm looking forward to this film. And it's probably a really good story, a beautiful animation, and the story is going to twist and turn like every other one, every one of the other of his films.
Yeah. And it's going to be a lot of like, where are we going with this? Oh, that's where we're going. My heart. I mean, that's what happened in the last one.
That is true.
And you know, I'm going to make a prediction.
Okay.
About the very end of the film. Last scene.
Okay.
One of the guy is going to be at the bottom of a thing of stairs. The girl's going to be at the top of the stairs. They're going to turn and look at each other and say, Suzume. I don't know. But that scene happened in Weathering with You also.
It did.
Except there was a couple more minutes of footage after that.
And we will probably see a cameo of characters
from the characters from the previous two films.
Yes.
Just like last time.
Yes.
Yeah, because the guy from Your Name,
yes,
his grandmother hires the girl from Weathering with You to give him a sunny day for his brother's birthday.
Yeah, something
like what it was.
Yeah,
and then he shows up and goes, "Oh, it's that guy." Where does this fit in the timeline? 3 minutes later, it's her with the ribbon. And just before or after they looked at each other and said, "Can you tell me your name?" End of movie.
It'd be like if you want to hear the reaction for that movie. We've done the reaction.
Yeah. We've done the one where we recorded it in the truck and it was steaming in the truck.
Oh my gosh! Yes,
it was like 30 degrees outside in January.
Yes,
and we're sitting there going because there's this large heavy engine like behind us. I don't think you can hear it in the audio. And I'm sitting there going, is somebody staring at us? Do we have a motorcycle gang getting ready to beat us up? What's going on?
Oh my gosh, that was hilarious.
But yeah, anyway, we got to cut it off here because we actually have about 40 minutes to get to the other side, to get into town to see this film. So join us on the other side of the bumpers, and we will get to talking about Suzume.
This podcast is a proud member of Culture Box. Whether you enjoy geeky reviews, comedy, or original fiction, you can open up the Culture Box and find something excellent for your soul. Point your web browser to culturebox.media.
And we're back. That was a very interesting film.
That was very interesting. Very fun. Huge shout out to Ashley Cryer. Take one.
Yeah, say it right.
Yes. And a huge shout out to Ashley Cryer. Thank you very much for joining us.
For those who are unaware, that's his girlfriend.
Yes. Love you, Ashley. So yes, Suzume. That was a great film. It was wonderful. It had again with this director, like the entire time, it's like, oh my gosh, googly eyes at all the amazing artwork and the animation and effects and everything.
Yeah, this man knows how to mix 2D and 3D to make amazingly beautiful artwork. Yeah, it's not painted on celluloid like you know classic stuff, but good night. Why doesn't everybody do this? You know? Besides, it's expensive.
Yes, very expensive.
But he can do it because he knows exactly what he's doing, and it's almost expected of his work now.
Yeah, it's artwork in motion.
Oh yeah. There's not a scene in this entire film that I'm just looking going, oh, I see where you took the shortcut there.
Yeah, no,
there is no shortcuts.
No shortcuts.
There's so much well, if you've seen Weathering with You and Your Name, you know what to expect. It's that kind of visuals, but better, because technology has progressed, and so they're able to do a couple of new things. When Weathering with You, we had a lot of those side-to-side 3D parallax effects, like when she was going through the gateway.
Yes.
This doubles, triples, quadruples those kind of shots.
Yes, it does.
Including a couple that were circular. But yeah, this is I enjoy. If you like those other two movies, I can't tell you. You probably don't even need me to tell you to go watch the film.
You've already probably gone to see it already.
Exactly, and you're just waiting to hear our spoiler-filled section because wondering why we're just being so slow about getting into it. But there's a couple people who have no idea what this is they're listening to when they hit play.
Yes.
Because admittedly, it's not going to tell you anything.
No.
But yeah, it's a fun little romance, sci-fi action film.
Yes.
And it does know how to pull the heartstrings.
Agreed.
And I highly
Very
suggest
much.
it.
Yes.
And I don't have, unlike Your Name, I don't have to excuse something.
Go back and
listen to your name.
Go listen to our unit.
Or whenever our Your Name review comes back up again on the rewind.
Yeah.
So that'll happen soon.
Yeah.
Ish.
It'll be like, for how much we enjoyed that film. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It'll get back up there.
So, yeah. Anything before we jump into the spoiler-filled part of these reactions?
No, except that darn cat.
Yeah, that darn cat. The following is a spoiler-filled reaction to the film Suzume. Listener discretion is advised. Okay. That darn cat.
Oh my gosh.
It's all his fault.
Are we sure?
Yes, I am sure. And I have thought about this as we were coming home. That cat. Okay, first off, let me back up.
Yeah.
It's not just the cat's fault. She's the one who removed the cat, the key.
That is true.
The keystone that was him.
That is true.
From that place first. But she had no way of knowing. She tripped over it, picked it up, and was like, what is this weird thing?
And then it turned into a cat.
And it turned into a cat and ran off. That's nothing she could do about that.
That is true.
She was in a weird position and there was no one to help her. So, but the fact that the cat didn't come to her and say, hey, can you put me back before the big giant spirit worm shows up and destroys Japan? Comes out. Do you think of that? But no, because she was nice enough to feed the cat and she was being friendly. She had no idea it was a spirit cat.
True.
She had no way of knowing. So she's just being nice and friendly. And she says, hey, you want to live here for a while? She just she thought it might be cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like you, Suzume. Oh, by the way, you, the guy she just did first aid for, you're in the way. Boop. And now
turns him into a chair.
A 3-legged chair.
Thanks, Daichi.
Oh, Daichi.
Yeah, Daichi. Sorry.
Darn
cat. Oh, so be like you have, and then you discover more of what's really going on. What is his name? I
don't remember Stool's name.
Oh, give me.
I just know him as Stool.
Sota.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sota is not a gatekeeper.
They called them closers.
Closers, where it was more.
I wonder how much of that is the English the English dub trying to sound more cooler instead of using whatever. I'm curious what the Japanese word is and how it translates. But anyway.
Yeah, so Sota is a closer, and his family's been doing closing
these gates for years
and years. And gates are this. They are a gate to the, what do they call it?
They called it the Ever After because
The
I
Ever
don't
After.
think they wanted to call it Underworld or Hell.
Or afterlife.
Well, it's the afterlife, but
It
we're
is
talking about the
afterlife.
way the Japanese usually reproach it. It's the underworld.
Yeah, it's the
basically.
underworld.
Underworld is a more accurate word, I think, than the Ever After. But anyway,
Yeah. So Suzume's job is to close these gates that a giant worm creature would come out of these gates and cause a massive earthquake.
yes.
So
And
it's
apparently, this affects Japan all the stinking time.
Yes.
Which is why they have to keep going around and closing all these gates.
Yes. And then Suzume just gets herself involved with this.
Well, in her defense, she was odd in the fact that she actually could see them.
Yes.
Because nobody else can, nobody but these two and the other quote unquote closers could actually see the doors
Yes.
or the worm or any of that. Mm-hmm. And admittedly, that first time we saw what we thought was smoke coming out, it's like, what are we looking at? And why can nobody else see it?
Yes.
And no, it wasn't smoke. It was a giant spirit worm. That's not disturbing.
No, not at all. And I love how the origins of the door being opened is like it's an abandoned place. It's an abandoned place, but
Place that's dead.
it's a place that's dead. And it makes sense. And then Taichi. I mean, like he just shows up around the same areas, so it makes you assume that he's opening the doors.
No, he was just going through and telling them, hey, you need to close this before crap happens.
Well, yes. Yes, but we're led throughout the entire film that Taichi is the one who's opening the doors.
That's what they wanted you to think, but I will admit I was watching it and I wasn't really thinking, okay, I know I joked before that the cat was evil in
Yes.
in the
Oh yeah,
in the pre-show part.
Yes.
But as we were watching the film, I was looking and going, oh, there's got to be more to this. If
Oh,
the
of
cat
course.
was the stone from the beginning, the cat has to be aware. It's like, okay, yeah, I want to be your cat forever, but we've got this other stuff we have to do first so that, I can force your boyfriend to take my spot.
I agree. Billy, it's the way the story plays out. Be like the way it's leading you to believe that Taichi is the one who's opening the gates, but obviously he's not. But it's be like that nice little misdirection of what's going on, what's really going on. Mm-hmm. And again, storytelling in like any of this director's stories are absolutely incredible.
Yeah. There's a lot of great like visual symbolism that I caught, like the red lightning sometimes that we see, because there was some yellow lightning, but there's a lot of red lightning, which is weird.
Yes.
Also, I noted a couple times, and I did some little bit of research while we were getting set up.
Gotcha.
That did you catch the red flower in that one scene?
Yes.
It looks like this. It's a Japanese red spider lily, thing, and it is essentially a flower that represents death in Japanese culture.
Really?
Yeah,
That makes sense.
I found out about it when I was watching the anime Demon Slayer, because a lot of death in that too.
Yeah.
And the end scene, kind of, the ending theme, the visuals in that focus these flowers a lot, which is why I knew about it when we were watching this. I go, oh, that's interesting. Because you just look at it, you don't know what it is. You're going, it's just a red flower. That's interesting.
Yes.
And I looked at it, spider lily. Death is upon us.
Now you know. Well, at least I know now.
And knowing it's half the battle.
Exactly.
Anyway, the other interesting one, the other symbolism is when she loses her shoe when she jumps towards the worm.
Yeah.
Do you know that shoes being left on rooftops when Japanese people jump to their deaths is a common thing?
Yeah.
Enough that to all them, they just saw her jump and her shoe was left, and the camera focused on the shoe. It's like death imagery. You're just pouring it on, movie.
Yes, it is.
You're telling us this girl is about to die fighting the giant spirit worm.
Yes.
great. That sounds like fun.
Like, yes, I'd be like,
Because they don't really give you the feeling this is going to be a happy ending throughout the entire film. They really are making it feel like, yeah, either he's gonna die, she's gonna die.
Yes.
They're both gonna die. They'll live happily ever after in the ever after, but it's never going to go the way you think, because that's what happens in the other two Makoto Shinkai films.
yes,
In Your Name, they do save everybody, but because the time loop was closed, they don't remember each other until the very end, and you get this one little glimpse of hope that they're going to meet and be, their relationship will continue. Weathering With You, she, in order for her to have any sort of good ending, had to allow Tokyo to drown, which is not optimal. It's not really a happy ending. It's a bittersweet ending.
yeah,
And in this one, it really felt like everything was going to turn out. There was not going to be a good, safe answer.
yeah.
There was no way to clean everything up. And yet, of the three, this is the happiest ending.
I agree. But they stopped the calamity from happening.
They stopped the calamity from happening. They were able to continue their relationship pretty much immediately, although he had to go and finish his job. And
Yes,
so, that was going to happen.
yes.
And of course, I called that the movie would end with them looking at each other on a hilltop and a couple scenes, and then boom, title drop. I didn't expect the movie to start with that too.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this movie.
Yes,
highly
tremendously.
suggest y'all go watch it if you've gotten this far and you hadn't.
Yeah. But also, I'd like to mention the frequent flashbacks.
Oh, yeah.
Of Suzume, be like of her, what happened to her in the past, what happened to her mother, and it all leading back to what Sumi would do in the future in the afterlife.
Yeah. And of course, that one scene of them building the chair.
Oh
Her
yeah,
mother
that was.
building the
Oh
chair.
my gosh.
It's like, because that's really the only scene with her mother in it.
yeah. We see that
didn't know that at the time.
No, we didn't know that.
Because we thought at least I thought that the girl that she kept seeing in the flashbacks,
Yeah, was her mother.
Her first time, I thought that was her mother. Had no idea that was her.
Yeah.
But then the minute that the robe he draped the robe around her, I went,
Oh yes.
They did just say time has no meaning in the ever after, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly. I was in the exact same point when he put that cloak on her, that robe on her. It's like, oh, she's the girl she sees in the past.
Which means now that the chair that he gets turned into is a paradox.
Yeah.
Because she gave herself the chair with 3 legs, which she'll have for him to sit on and get cursed by the cat to become the chair, and that'll become the keystone. That thing's become the keystone so many times, I'm surprised it's in as good a shape as it is.
Well,
She must do a good job of maintaining it in the 10, 11 years between when her aunt picks her up thereafter, and when she goes to the abandoned resort town, because that chair is in relatively good shape, depending on how many time loops have passed.
And if we take the position, we take the position of Suzume, she believes the entire time that the chair that her mother gave her, and then mother gave her later on, was actually herself, which I thought was beautiful. And this movie tugs at your heartstrings.
Oh yeah,
like definitely towards the end of the third act. So well done. It's just like, I'm sitting there just like, I'm not crying. Are you crying? Nah. But it's this movie will pull at your heartstrings. It will give you the feels beyond belief.
The only disappointing thing there were so many times it felt like they were about to set up a connection to his previous films.
Yeah.
Weathering with You gave me some expectation.
Yeah.
That these were all kind of, sort of in a loose, extremely loose, connected universe.
Yeah.
And there was nothing to connect it to Weathering, nothing to connect it with Your Name. And I don't know about the rest of the films.
Yeah.
There was nothing that connected it in those instances. Even though we went to Tokyo, and I thought, and I even said, "Oh, is Tokyo going to be underwater partially?
Yeah.
Is some of this going to be rebuilt? Is downtown Tokyo going to be is the bay going to have expanded? Are you going to play on that? Is there at least going to be water stains on the stonework? Please." And there's not. I went, okay, fine. And then they go to where they're having her hometown.
Yeah.
And we find out it's been it was taken out by a tsunami years ago.
Yes.
And I got to thinking, time wise, you could possibly make it where it's maybe with some wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, make the claim that was her, the tsunami was from the storm or maybe from the meteor. You could maybe make it work.
Yeah, possibly.
But no, it can't work that way because it wasn't winter in either one of those films.
Very true.
Because that's where she comes out of the doors in the winter. Mm-hmm. And it's made very obvious that from her aunt's point of view, it's the same day she disappeared as when she finds her. Mm-hmm. So... Yeah. So the fact that we don't have a connection, or at least not an apparent one, to the previous films, I'm a little disappointed at.
Oh, okay. So the tsunami or the earthquake they're referring to apparently was the 1923 Great Kyoto earthquake, I believe.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, that's
the one they referred to 100 years ago.
Yeah, that's the one from 100 years ago.
Yeah,
but the one from 15 from when she was 4.
Yeah, 14 years ago.
That the only one that could be.
Yeah,
might be the one that. Oh, wait a minute! I just realized that.
Okay.
Her hometown is near Hokkaido.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Which is where the Fukushima power plant is. That has to be the tsunami.
Yeah.
That took out her house. It was the same one.
Yeah. 2011 Toki earthquake and tsunami.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same one.
That has to be that one.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Still makes me kind of sad that there's not a connection to
the
previous stuff, which I don't need a connection.
Right.
I was on the lookout for cameos, and there were none. And that's disappointing.
Yeah, I agree.
But the film works maybe better for it.
Yeah, I agree. But also be like, yeah, I would agree with you on that. I would agree with you. Again, this is a beautiful film. You have like nice twists and turns. This is a journey story.
Yeah.
So in so many ways, where
they travel all the way across Japan from the southern tip, nearly all the way to the far northern tip.
Yes.
And I don't think they actually get to Hokkaido, but because I think they're still on the main island at the end. But
yeah, it's one of those films that has so much, gravitas when it comes to like where they are, and it's not be like, oh, we're making up cities. We're actually giving you actual locations and beautiful. Heck, they go to McDonald's at one point, an actual McDonald's.
All of Makoto Shinkai's films have had very done product placement.
Very true.
Never feels like it's out of place, and it's always very accurate.
Yes, I agree.
So yeah. And I felt so sorry for was it Joto, whatever his name is. When they're eating at McDonald's in the back of the car and the kids are trying to stack stuff on the
and he's trying to rebalance himself.
Yeah.
Oh, it was great. It was great.
Yeah, I was right in thinking that was Hokkaido. Anyway, it's a great film. Highly suggest you go watch it.
Yes, highly recommend this film.
Yes.
It'll be in theaters, I think, for another
couple days at least.
I think. So
I didn't look at what the run was because I mean these Crunchyroll, what used to be Funimation, but now Crunchyroll, films, while it's amazing we get them in theaters at all,
Yes.
they usually only last about a week or two. Mm-hmm. They don't get a full run, and we're lucky to get them.
Yeah, agreed. I'm just looking real fast, see if we actually do have a time crunch. Let's see here. BMI awards. Yeah, it's not saying if it's a limited run or not, but most of the time these films are limited runs.
Yeah, I suspect it is a limited run. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing maybe at least through next Saturday, April 22nd.
Oh, okay.
At least around here where we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Google's only showing out to another week, so it could go longer than that. I'm not sure.
So yeah, if you are able to listen to this in the next couple of days, when it's released, I would highly recommend going and seeing it in theaters. It's worth the price for admission.
Oh yes,
and can't wait for this movie to come out on digital or physical media. So
definitely physical media, but
yeah, definitely physical media. But I don't know. Some people are more be like, "Oh, I like digital." Some of us, myself,
it's got to come out on digital first. But I'm looking forward to the physical release.
Yeah, agreed.
Anyway, you got anything else before we end this thing?
No, but yeah,
that darn
cat.
In the meantime, this has been Drew.
This is Jacob,
and we'll catch you in the next frame.
You can follow Jacob on his Facebook at Jacob B. Heron. His Facebook page, Jacob's Daily Art Corner, where he tries to draw each and every day. His Instagram at Jacob B. Heron. His Twitter at Jacob Heron. And his Letterboxd at Jacob Heron. You can find Drew on Facebook at Drew Dodgen. His Facebook page, Drew's Photo Bin, to see his photography. His Letterboxd page at GGeorge759. His Twitter at GGeorge759. And Instagram at Drew Dodgen. You can like us on Facebook at the Cellcast Podcast, on Twitch at the Cellcast Gaming, on YouTube at Cellcast, on Twitter at cast_cell. The Cellcast can be found at Apple Podcasts, Google Play Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, or anywhere else fine podcasts are downloaded from. Please rate and review us where you found us, and also on Podchaser. Email us at thecellcastpodcast@gmail.com. The Cellcast is a proud member of both the Pop Americana and Culture Box media networks. For more information, please see the link in the description. Our theme song is Drop and Roll by Silent Partner. And remember, that's Cell with a single L.
All I wanted to be was your friend.
I'm sorry, Suzume. I can't be your cat. This is not a good version of his voice.
No, it's not. But oh well.
All right.